You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. The messages you need to hear are coming today. Daily Horoscope for Monday and Tuesday, May 8th through the 9th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Well, yesterday morning I pulled a muscle in my shoulder blade. It has been bothering me since then, and the worst part is that I pulled it while yawning. Who knew that when you hit 40, you needed to warm up to do a simple morning yawn? It was one of those situations where you're just sitting there sleepily staring at your computer screen, sipping your coffee, waiting for your brain to boot up, and you feel a little morning yawn come on. So you raise up your arms a little bit, arch your back just a little, and do a little seated cat stretch, then bam, twinge. Then for the rest of the morning, I was rubbing it, applying essential oils to it, and massaging it as best I could. But it was in that impossible to reach spot on the shoulder blade where it's like, if I really got to the right spot, I probably was going to injure my other arm somehow. Anyway, I did get some relief from applying Deep Blue Rub, which is a really cool lotion that doTERRA makes. Shameless plug. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, and I approve this message. And having my husband do a little massage on the spot for me helped as well. But enough about me and my annual spring injuries. I injured my elbow last year around this same time. Could it have something to do with gardening? Well, whatever. I have an announcement to make regarding my services. For the summer, I am offering a special Hellenistic astrology reading for donation only. My summer reading special is a quick 25 to 30 minute reading that I am calling a Hellenistic 5-point reading, where we will go over your big three, your sun, moon, and rising sign complexes, and the two most notable transits that you are in or that are coming up for you this year using Hellenistic techniques. For those of you who are new here, I started out as a modern astrologer, but for the past year, I have been studying Hellenistic astrology with Adam Ellenboss. Hellenistic astrology, it turns out, is very different from modern in both philosophy and technique. I have fallen in love with the philosophy and the techniques of this type of astrology, which is more concrete, event-based in nature, and that believes that you are not your chart, but rather that the chart reflects the karma you were born into. It's very interesting and fascinating, and I really love putting elements of the two, modern and Hellenistic, together. Anyway, I need to practice my skills, and so for a limited time this summer, I would like to read as many charts as possible using these techniques, so I am offering the 5 points reading by donation only, so that cost is not an issue for anyone. Pay me $5, $10, $15, $20, I don't care, it's up to you. The truth is that I am obsessed with astrology and love to read charts and would do this for free, but as you all know, I live in a shoe, albeit a nicest shoe, and have so many children I don't know what to do, and therefore I must eventually charge for my services to feed them all and make a living. Hashtag it's the truth. If you'd like to book a reading using Hellenistic techniques, please email me at astromommyastrology@gmail.com. That way, we can schedule your reading via Zoom or over the phone. You can also use my Square site scheduler, but I only have 2 spots available on Saturdays for the auto scheduler because I prefer to chat with you and choose the best time. These readings will start in mid-June and go until mid-August 2023, so please reach out to me now because it will be first come, first served. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get into the astrology. On Monday, the moon will be in Sagittarius all day until the evening when she will ingress into the sign of Capricorn at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Time. The sun is still in Taurus and is getting pretty close to Uranus. This is the most notable transit for Monday and Tuesday because it will perfect on Tuesday, May 8th, 2023 at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So we will definitely feel this energy building up. I'm going to talk about this transit in more detail in today's newsletter. We also have Mercury retrograde in Taurus, entering an engagement to Saturn in Pisces by sextile, which will perfect during his retrograde on Friday, May 12th, 2023. Mercury formed a sextile to Saturn when he was in direct motion back in the beginning of April, and so this sextile from Mercury to Saturn in retrograde motion may have something to do with whatever serious conversations, documents, or paperwork was started back then. Venus in Cancer is still engaged in her quincunx to Pluto in Aquarius retrograde, so there are still touchy issues involving important women in our lives or our own values, relationships, and sensuality that is going through a bit of an uncomfortable assessment. Jupiter is still in Aries, but he has moved to the 28th degree, only 2 degrees away from entering Taurus, where he will square Pluto, and we will experience a large dramatic shift in the process of figuring stuff out in terms of what we are building, creating, and doing our best to stabilize. I feel very strongly that this transit, Jupiter ingressing into Taurus and squaring Pluto, symbolizes a massive change to our foundations and a positive one. Jupiter brings blessings, good fortune, and opportunities, and I think this is a transit we can look forward to. But it is with Pluto, so it will be transformational. How this transit will affect you personally depends on your natal chart. I will be putting together horoscopes for all 12 signs about Jupiter's ingress into Taurus and square to Pluto, so look for that in the coming weeks. Jupiter ingresses into Taurus on May 16th, 2023. Saturn and Neptune are still in Pisces, which is like 2 very different sentinels managing the ends of the ocean. Neptune dissolves structures and Saturn builds structures, and Pisces is rather structureless, so we could feel this very stressed energy at the outer limits of our consciousness right now. It feels like ice forming and melting over and over. So first, let's talk about what the moon is doing today and tomorrow, and then we'll go over the sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. First, as I said on Monday, the moon is in Sagittarius, and she will form a quincunx to Uranus, a sesquiquadrate and a semi-square to the north and south nodes, respectively, another sesquiquadrate to Mercury in Taurus retrograde, and a quincunx to Mars in Cancer. What this means is that the forward-moving energy that we all want is feeling a lot of friction. Things just aren't moving along as smoothly as we'd like Monday morning. Then at 2:22 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Sagittarius perfects a square to Neptune in Pisces, and this could feel really confusing, chaotic, and turbulent. The moon square Neptune could symbolize uncertainty, loss, or deception. You could feel like saying, or see other people saying, screw it, I'm going to do what I want, and push through the uncertainty or nebulous fog with nihilistic behavior. But I would caution against this and say that right now, with all this Taurus energy and the Sun conjunct Uranus transit building, this is a time to focus on what you are building and creating and do what you can to stabilize those things, not throw up your hands and run off with the circus because you just can't even anymore. This transit is reminding you that although you don't know what the future may bring, you still need to be an adult and act responsibly in your life. If whatever it is that is happening seems to be divinely guided and supported by your higher self, by all means go for it. But if it is more of an escape from your life, then take the high road and avoid getting lost in the fog. This is really interesting because the next aspect that the moon makes is a trine to Jupiter in Aries, and so this energy of just wanting to go, push through, and start something is really strong. As I said, with the moon square Neptune, if the opportunity is divinely guided and the signs and messages you received from the universe are all green lights, then this is just another green light, so take it. But if you have been getting a lot of red or yellow lights, this transit could be a test of faith. The moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter in Aries ruled by Mars, who is in his fall in Cancer, could really be testing you to see if you have what it takes to rise above the challenges you are facing in your life and do what's right according to your higher self. Jupiter in Aries could be really impulsive, so just be cautious with this transit. Ultimately, it is a good transit with harmonious energy that has the potential to be really rewarding and positive. It depends upon how this transit affects your natal chart. All in all, I feel this transit may send you some really optimistic messages and blessings. At 7:32 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon moves into Capricorn and immediately is engaged in an opposition to Venus in Cancer, which will perfect at 10:19 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night. The moon in Capricorn opposite Venus in Cancer could symbolize the women in your life having arguments or making demands on one another. Venus in Cancer wants things to be nurturing and homey, and the moon in Capricorn is all business and just wants to get things done in an expedient manner. So these two energies are on polar opposites to one another, the natural duality between home and work, domestic duties and your career life, and what makes you feel nurtured and cared for on an emotional level versus what makes you feel secure and stable financially and structurally. So again, we're looking at what we are building, creating, and stabilizing because Venus is the host of all the planets in Taurus, and then she's involved in this opposition with the moon. So this will bring up what we are building, creating, and stabilizing in our missions, careers, and relationships. On Tuesday, the moon is in Capricorn all day and forms a sesquiquadrate to the sun, and then to Uranus and Taurus, and then she makes beneficial aspects to the nodes and a sextile to Saturn and a trine to Chiron, all before the big event of the day, Sun in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. What these transits of the moon mean before the big event of Tuesday is that there could be a desire to figure stuff out before the messages come, like wanting to take the cake out of the oven before it's cooked all the way. So patience is a virtue, as they say. Be patient. The moon sextile Saturn means be patient. Happiness comes to those who wait, as the saying goes, but also to those who work hard while they wait. The moon trine Mercury retrograde means that your patience will pay off and the ideas, conversations, and messages will flow freely to you. This is an excellent transit for thinking clearly, speaking coherently, and working cooperatively with others. So let's talk about the Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. I looked ahead to next year's Sun conjunct Uranus because Uranus will still be in Taurus until part of 2025, but mainly 2026 when he will ingress into Gemini. And next year, the Sun will first form a new moon in Taurus at the same degree as this year's Sun-Uranus conjunction, 18 degrees, and then a few days later conjoin Uranus. But what is so notable about next year's conjunction is that both Venus and Jupiter will be in Taurus, co-present with that new moon and Sun-Uranus conjunction. This is really something to look forward to. So I feel that this year's Sun-Uranus conjunction may be like a significant domino in our lives that gets knocked over and maybe shows us like 10% of the kind of fortune we can look forward to with next year's transit. This is also very exciting for me personally because this year's conjunction and next are all in opposition to my natal Mercury-Uranus conjunction in my natal chart, which means big shifts for me personally. Exciting and kind of scary. I feel like I am at a theme park ascending the lift hill to a really fun but kind of scary roller coaster. Anyway, the Sun and Uranus together can bring about sudden, unexpected, and unanticipated events that could be good or bad, depending upon the situation and the perspective. There could be significant breakthroughs that lead to progress, or progressive ideas that create solutions to problems. There could be something new and exciting that pops into your life that sparks more creativity and originality. There could also be significant or shocking events that happen surrounding a father figure, an important male in your life, or a prominent leader in society. There could be fresh and electrifying changes to your career or home life that require you to pivot and change direction. This transit is unpredictable in that we know that it will bring something unexpected, but we don't know exactly what. What we can bet on and focus our attention on is the Taurus energy. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and so we can focus on building, creating, and stabilizing those things in our life that we have already been working on that we are getting green lights with. Taurus is also hardworking, stubborn, and passionate. By focusing our energy and grounding ourselves in the comforting and nurturing energy of fixed earth, we can relax our worries and trust that the universe will provide what we need to flourish. So if you are feeling stressed, worried, or out of sorts right now, nature may be the medicine. Plant your toes in the dirt, take a walk through the trees, meditate on a pier, and listen to the birds in the sky. Do whatever you need to do to connect with this fixed energy that has all the power in the world to hold and cradle your soul, like a mother to a child. Let the earth hold you today in her arms, and all will be okay. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Messages Monday. You can't make this stuff up. This is really the card I pulled for Monday. On this card, we see a piece of paper nailed to a wooden background that has the word messages written in cursive on it. And at the bottom of the card is the word Monday in all caps. The little book of instructions for this card reads, quote, "On Monday, a message will come revealing what your next move should be in carrying out the master plan. Your situation will become clearer," unquote. Well, I think the message of this card for today is very clear. A message is coming, and then you will know what it is you shall do next in your master plan. Wahaha. I would also like to point out that the note, the message, is nailed to wood. Wood is found in nature, so this echoes what I was saying before about grounding your energy in nature this week. Maybe that is where you will receive the said message. I am very curious if this comes true for you, so if you do receive a message today that goes with this card, please tell us about it and share it in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from Morgan's Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.